Hello, Mad King Coder here. I just wanted to make a quick little video showing off something I did that I thought was pretty clever. Although a lot of people are probably going to be mad, but we'll see. Maybe you think it's cool too. Before you see a 1900s German lute guitar. Now this is basically a classical guitar. It has 3 nylon strings, 3 steel strings, wound strings, and it has basically like 11 playable frets. It's a pretty short neck. This is an Arabic oud, and you can kind of see something I did there, which probably will hint at what I did. This is basically a predecessor to the Renaissance lute, and obviously predecessor to the guitar ultimately as well. Um, Now, I got this lute as a trade for my harpsichord, along with another Rusbec lute guitar, a newer one than this one. Um, Obviously newer. That one's from like 1920. But this I got as well, and I don't really care about the oud because I don't know how to play Arabic music, and figuring out the tuning was kind of a pain in the butt. So I went, wait a minute. This is the predecessor to the lute. Crusaders brought these back to Europe when they came back from the Crusades, obviously, and they put frets on them and changed a bunch of things about them to make them the lute, or the lute as we eventually got it. Um, so I was like, well, what the heck? Why don't I take this? It has 6 courses, 6 sets of strings. So a guitar, basically, or if you think like a 12 string, that's a 6 course guitar is a 12 string, because each course is tuned the same or similar as in on a lute. They're not exactly the same. One is higher an octave, but same thing. It'll be a D, like a D2, D3, you know what I mean? But on this, it's tuned exactly the same, or I tuned it exactly the same. I tuned it as a guitar. The what was it? EBG DAE. Um, and so it's incredible. It actually plays like a guitar, and I was like, wait a minute. So if this works like that, then I can tie frets on like lutes have here. These are not actually inlaid frets. Well, these are glued to the top, but these are tied on nylon strings, as anyone who plays lutes will know. And so I had the same idea. I was like, oh, why don't I just take like an E string off of a classical guitar, because I had another broken lute guitar laying around. So I took a string off that and tried it, but the string buzzed. So I ended up going downstairs and asking my father for some fishing line, and I got I think it was 8 pound test fishing line, and used that. It's quite thin, and it doesn't buzz now. And I suck at tying the knots on here, so they were a bit loose. So just to kind of keep them where they were, I cheated and just put a dab of glue right there, which is, you're not supposed to do that. But here, obviously, I couldn't tie them on, so I just stretched the line across, put a dab of super glue, and I'm not really worried about it. For one, these are really cheap instruments, and for two, I could really chip that off and sand it if I want. So no harm done, really, in the long run. And I'm thinking I want to modify this thing anyway, because I really don't like this. And I chipped up a corner, and I can see that it's not embedded in it. It's just glued over the top and sanded smooth. So I'm thinking I'm going to just chip this off and then sand it, and it'll be flat and one uniform color then. So that'll be nice. But yeah, so it's cool. It plays like a guitar now. So let me go ahead and demonstrate that. I'll take you in the other room and show you. You have to excuse the room. We're working on this, but this is it, the lute. So, lute guitar now, an oud guitar, if you will, actually. Oh, jeez, messed up at the end there, but yeah, it sounds really good now. I couldn't believe that. Um, it's incredible how easy that was to make it from an Arabic oud, which I have no idea how to play, to basically another lute guitar. It's so fun.